So, a topic covering great multitude of people. The debates have been of great intensity and some of them being over-aggressive. Don't worry guys, we are critical thinkers who are not here to puzzle you but to bring out clarity in your head. Now, enough of talking, let's start with the video. Science versus tradition. Let us clear what we call as science and what we call as tradition. This would make tasks easier. Science, of what I know, is the study of every imaginable aspect of this creation, and tradition is nothing but a path, a way of approaching things which people have been adopting since a long time. Clear with the meaning. So now moving forward to where does the problem arises? Why to do a science versus tradition? A simple, clear answer is that both poles have some clarifications while they are not able to prove themselves over some standards. Especially in India, there has been a wave of both due to a sudden rise in availability of content on internet. Let us consider tradition first. The advertisers of tradition always argue that even more sophisticated form of science has existed well before the rise of modern science, and colonialism, invasions, revolutions have led to its decline. And ultimately, tradition is being portrayed as inferior. So, do they have any evidences for this? Unbiasedly saying, yes, they have. Researchers have been proving infinite things, practices, attributes, or qualities which existed earlier as the ones which could be extremely beneficial. So, does that prove tradition to be the supremo? Not really. Let us understand what stakeholders of modern science say. They say that as early as possible, we should jump into practicality and see what exists rather than what existed. They further add that the world has progressed a lot, so much so that a device in hand can tell you the information of outer space. And according to them, we should recognize this and move further with the present day privileges. If we talk about evidences, then they are uncountable. The very existence of modern science is based on clear-cut evidences. Now, if you are getting confused, don't leave the video. That's where we now put our own mind forward and jump into the most important part, that is, solution. It is true that if traditional practices are being proved appropriate, then why delay them for getting an approval by scientific researchers? Delay them because some get proved appropriate while some are completely disregarded. So there isn't only one-way traffic. And that's what preachers of modern science say, that most of the traditional practices get proved wrong while only some are able to prove themselves right. So, what we think the most adequate solution could be that, considering the fact that this is an age of modern science and overturning it would demand innumerous revolutions, so we have to be consistent with it. We should recognize what modern science says and also analyze that part of which keeps traditional practices in check. That could be the best solution. Let me explain. There are numerous research centers and organizations which publish their reports on what traditional practices are correct and what are outdated, and hence we should keep an eye on them too, rather than just seeking for anti-traditional options. In a nutshell, change yourself with time, but change for good. If science proves traditional practices as appropriate, then it is a bonus, and with the rate science is progressing, it is surely going to touch all the possible topics related to tradition. Hence, we will obviously get a more clear perspective. So, trust science, but don't be blindly inclined towards one pole. Let there be open space in your head, which allows every provision to come at door, but analyzes all and let enter only the adequate one. So, that's all with the video. Hope you liked it. Please support us so that we can touch many more lives. Till then,